Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he, indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
This is Jim Bowie speaking, and this is a dark alley in the city of New Orleans in 1830. Congress had passed a law prohibiting the importation of slaves from Africa, so a new trade had sprung up, the trade in stolen slaves. It was here in the dark alleys of New Orleans that this trade flourished under the leadership of ex-pirate Jean Lafitte and his band of cutthroats. Human life wasn't cheap. A prime field hand would bring as much as $1,000. Papers were forged, and the poor devil who dared raise his voice against his captors was brutally whipped into submission.
Praise the Lord. Mr. Bowie.
Jim Bowie.
Don't move, mister, or I'll split your head open before you can cock that rifle. Cut him down. You both heard me. Cut him down. Take that knife and cut him down.
What concern is it of yours what I do with this slave?
He's not a slave, mister. He's a freed man. I gave him his papers.
You must be mistaken, monsieur. This man is the property of the Latin Company. He'll be sold at auction Saturday morning at 11 o'clock.
He's the property of no company. He was stolen from my plantation. Field hand of mine saw him dragged aboard a riverboat, and I trailed him here.
Don't bother about me, Mr. Jim. He's a bad man.
Who's in charge around here? Who owns the Lantine Company?
The rifle's cocked now, Mr. Bowie.
Don't give him any reason to whip you, Joseph. I'll be back. I'll get you out of here. There are 5 welts on his back right now. For everyone over 5, when I return for him, I'll cut a groove in your back with this. Saturday.
But I wouldn't go around accusing people of slave stealing, Mr. Bowie, unless you have evidence.
I can prove everything I said.
Then do it. Unless you can produce papers, the police can't do anything for you. Good night, sir.
There isn't time to get the
Good night,
papers.
sir.
Mr. Bowie, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Jacques Toulouse, of the Louisiana Courier newspaper.
Howdy.
You'll pardon my eavesdropping, but when I heard that you were, in fact, the great Jim Bowie, I decided I must have an interview with you.
I'm sorry, monsieur, but I'm in a hurry. A friend of mine's in trouble.
Yes, I heard. Something about freeing a man named Joseph, a former slave. If the monsieur will permit me to buy him a glass of wine, I may be able to help him. This way, Monsieur Bowie. You've stumbled into something that even police pretend doesn't exist. Tell me, who made your first knife, Mr. Bowie?
Why? What are they afraid of?
Ever hear of Jean Lafitte?
The pirate?
Please, Mr. Bowie, not so loud. This pirate has become one of our most honored, if not respected citizens, since he helped General Jackson drive the British over the Baratier Islands. It has now become the custom, as well as a matter of discretion, so to speak, to look the other way when Pirate Lafitte turns his hand to slave trading. It's a large business in New Orleans, my friend, a very large business. And the men who run it will brook no interference.
Not even from the law?
Tell me, why did you sharpen both sides of the blade near the end?
Where will I find Lafitte?
He lives on Galveston Island, but he has a business partner, a Monsieur Pierre Chauvin, who lives here, and who is just as dangerous.
Where will I find him?
I'll give you his address in return for the story of the knife.
Agreed.
24 Rue Sablon in the Vieux Carré.
24 Rue Sablon.
Much obliged, Mr. Toulouse, for the wine.
What about the story of the knife?
Meet me later at the Twin Oaks Inn.
But, monsieur, suppose you don't come out alive.
Well then, Mr. Toulouse, you'll just have to write my obituary. It'll make a much shorter story. Good evening. I've come to see Mr. Pierre Jouvin.
Monsieur Jouvin is occupied with guests.
It'll only take a minute.
I'm sorry. He does not wish to be disturbed.
Madeleine, my dear, there is something I wish to tell you privately.
Excuse me.
My name's Jim Bowie. I'm looking for Mr. Pierre Jouvin. Is he here?
I am sorry, monsieur. It's the one I turned away from the door. Will you be so good to follow me, monsieur?
I'm not leaving till I see Mr. Jouvin.
I am Pierre Jouvin. Now, what brings you into my courtyard like a man from another planet?
I come to see you, sir, about a Negro you're holding in a warehouse on Water Street. His name's Joseph.
Joseph Samuel Thomas. Names mean nothing to me.
Where'd you get him?
Through customary channels, I suppose. If we have him, our papers should show where we got him.
Forged papers, Mr. Jouvin. Joseph is a freed man. I ought to know. He belonged to me, and I freed him.
Are you prepared to prove this, monsieur?
Yes, sir, I am. The papers are in the courthouse at Opelousas.
Then get them, my friend, before you break into a man's house and make rash charges.
There isn't time to get them. Your men are auctioning him off Saturday. You'll have to take my word for it.
The word of an American.
What's wrong with the word of an American? Maybe you've all forgotten that Louisiana is America now.
A regrettable occurrence, monsieur. One we French choose to forget. Now, will you go, please? My guests are not amused by this unpleasant interruption.
I didn't come here to amuse anybody. I came here to ask you to release this man.
Jacques, show him out, please.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
Then this is mine.
Thank you, Jacques. It's time someone showed this pig a few manners. Get the swords.
You want to fight, mister? A knife's good enough for me.
The swords, monsieur.
Where I come from, man fights with whatever weapon comes to hand. Take your choice.
Monsieur Jouvin is the injured party. He chooses the weapons and he chooses swords.
Wait! It would be little less than murder to pit this man against a swordsman like you.
Mademoiselle Dupré flatters me. But I've made my choice, monsieur.
Come, monsieur, your sword beat. Allez, monsieur.
He's no swordsman. Jouvin is making a fool of him.
Apologize, monsieur. Quickly.
As far as I'm concerned, you're still a slave thief. All right, Jouvin. You won this fight, fair and square. But don't press your luck.
Be careful, monsieur. This American has a reputation with a knife.
Get out.
This way, monsieur.
Through the back door. And don't scuff your feet on the floors.
This way, monsieur.
Monsieur Bowie. You forgot these.
Yeah, thank you.
I am Madeleine Dupré. You are a courageous man, Monsieur Bowie, but you made one mistake tonight. You insulted Pierre Jouvin and gave him the choice of weapons. Next time, I suggest that you let Monsieur Jouvin insult you. He will be at the Club des Exiles tomorrow night. Perhaps if you disguised yourself as a gentleman, they might let you in.
Give me a bottle of ale, Peg.
Allow me to drink to your continued good health, Mr. Bowie.
Hello.
I'm glad I didn't have to write your obituary. You met Jouvin. Jouvin's adversaries don't usually walk away.
I raise you 20. I go.
Peg, is this man staying here?
Yes, sir.
I got you beat, mister.
Just a minute. Give him back his money.
Who said so?
I said give him back his money. Look, you know a man's too drunk to know what he's doing. Come on, you've played enough tonight, mister.
Need any help, Mr. Bowie?
You're going up to bed.
Jim Bowie?
Come on, up you get.
I don't want to quit.
You've had enough for tonight, mister. Come on.
You men use real good judgment.
I'll take you to your room.
Want to go? Yeah.
Here we are.
Oh. Thank you.
Friend of yours?
Him? I never saw him before.
You mean you pulled him out of the card game for no reason at all?
The man was drunk. He was being fleeced.
As it happens, the man was Sam Houston. Drunk or sober, he's quite capable of taking care of himself.
Sam Houston?
That's right. Now for the story you promised me about the famous Bowie knife. What is it?
I didn't think that I'd ever put Governor Sam Houston to bed. Evening, Peg.
Your carriage is waiting for you, Mr. Bowie.
Thanks.
Bowie. Did I hear somebody say Bowie? So you're Jim Bowie. What right you got pulling me out of a card game when I'm holding a club flush?
You were holding a whiskey flush, sir, and you were being cheated.
You're right, friend, you're right. And Sam Houston thanks you.
Glad to be of service, Governor.
Oh, no, not governor, just Sam Houston. Businessman, trader, adventurer like yourself. Peg, a bottle of Monongahela. So you're Jim Bowie. Come on, sit down. You know, you've made quite a reputation for yourself. I've been wanting to catch up with you for a long time. Sam Houston like no more about you. Did you ever hear of a place called Texas?
Of course. My brother Reason and I have been thinking of going out there and buying up some land.
Well, here's to Texas. You ought to see it, friend. Why, its virgin soil lies untouched by the plow, and its vast prairies teem with buffalo and riches. Riches beyond a man's wildest dreams. When can you leave, Bowie?
Whoa, not so fast, Mr. Houston. I was just thinking of going there. I'm not leaving right now.
Why not?
I have my plantation in Opelousas to look after, and
Why in Texas you'll have so much land it'll make that plantation of yours look like a sharecropper's half acre? Now, enough of this talk. When can you leave?
I'm sorry, Mr. Houston. I can't even talk about it right now. A friend of mine's in trouble.
Trouble?
A Negro named Joseph. He was picked up by Lafitte's slave stealers. And he'll be sold at auction unless I can free him in time.
Ah, bother with this fellow. You and me still got a lot of talking and drinking to do.
You'll have to excuse me, sir. I gave this man his freedom. He saved my life once. I can't turn my back on him now.
You know something, Bowie? The more you talk, the more Sam Houston wants you to go to Texas with him. Now then, you got any plan of action to free this friend of yours, Joseph?
I've located the man who holds him. May take a little persuading.
Well, my knife hand might not be as skilled as yours, but it's yours for what it's worth.
Let's go, Mr. Houston.
Sur le rouge, 2300.
Houston's the name, Sam Houston, of Tennessee, Texas, and the Cherokee Nation. This is my friend here, Jim Bowie.
Pardon. I'm Henri, the manager. Permit me to welcome you to the Club des Exilés. You honor us with your presence, gentlemen. Make yourselves at home.
See what he called it? Gentlemen. Disguise is perfect.
There's my man. The roulette table.
I'll sit here. Chair's always a handy way.
Give me some blues, please.
Henri? Henri!
Let's see your bed, gentlemen, please.
Wait.
Monsieur Juvin called.
Yes, I called, Henri. I was under the impression this was a gentleman's club.
Oh, I'm at lost, Monsieur Juvin.
He means me, Henri. Mr. Juvin doesn't think that I belong here. In plain words, Mr. Juvin doesn't think that I'm a gentleman. Isn't that right, sir?
Is there any doubt about it, monsieur?
I couldn't say, Mr. Juvin. I don't rightly know what it takes to be a gentleman in these parts.
Monsieur Bowie, it would be best perhaps if you left.
Why, Henri, first you welcome me here, then you ask me to leave. You seem to be having a little trouble riding the mule at both ends.
Don't ask him to leave, Henri. Throw him out.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Henri. Let me say what I came here to say. Then I'll leave of my own accord. I would just like to point out to all you distinguished gentlemen that you can't tell a man by the cut of his coat. Take Mr. Juvin here, for example. He has the fine clothes, the fine speech, the fine manners of a gentleman. But that's where it ends. Because Mr. Juvin, your distinguished fellow club member, is a dirty, slave-stealing thief. He's a hireling of the pirate Lafitte. Thank you, Juvin.
Monsieur Juvin, Monsieur Bowie, please, gentlemen, please, remember where you are, remember what you are. I'll start the game going. Gentlemen, please place your bets.
1 minute. According to your code of the duello, as I was struck, I'm entitled to choice of weapon.
That's correct, sir. And I claim the honor of being the second to Monsieur Juvin.
Allow me the honor to introduce my second, Mr. Sam Houston, of Tennessee and Texas.
We are indeed honored, sir. Weapons, time and place, monsieur?
Bowie knives. Here and now. It's your choice, monsieur. All right, gentlemen, step back and give him fighting room.
Oh, please, not in here, sir. Oh, no, the equipment. Please, up here. Here's the wonderful lounge. It's very nice indeed. Come up here, sir. Look, it's a special room.
That looks all right. The only condition I'd like to make is that Mr. Juvin and I are locked in that room alone.
Barbaric.
Oh, come, monsieur. Must we quibble over the way my friend chooses to die? Now, let's get on with it.
Of course, sir. If you'd care to admit that you're a thief and return Joseph to me, I'd be very happy to call off the duel.
Come, monsieur. Let's get this over with at once.
You gentlemen came here to gamble. Anybody like to make a little bet?
$500 on Juvin.
The gentleman has a bet.
Tables and chairs. Shouldn't that be removed?
Oh, if you hazard, it'll make the fight more exciting. Particularly when the room's dark.
Doc.
That's right, Juvin. You taught me a few tricks with the rapier. Maybe I can teach you a few tricks with the knife. That's something for me to remember, Juvin. Never turn my back on you. No. Don't hold the knife like that. Hold it like this. That's right. That's good, Juvin. That's right. Try again. Come on.
I might be willing to lay a few odds. Say, 5-3? Any takers? The odds are getting shorter, gentlemen.
There's something wrong in there. Maybe they're both dead.
In that case, naturally, all bets are off.
It's Pierre. It's one.
Tell him, Juvin. Go on, tell him.
Everything he said is true.
Louder.
I deal in stolen slaves.
Sit down over there. Go on, move. Henri, notify the police.
Oui, monsieur.
Sit down, Juvin. Write an order for Joseph's release.
$500 from the gentleman.
And while you're about it, write a release for every stolen slave in the Barracoon.
Let's have a look at your back.
5. Lucky for you, there aren't any more. How about the rest of these men? What's going to happen to them?
They will be returned to their rightful owners. Good night, gentlemen. Allez-vous-en, vite!
This will make a better story than the one about your famous knife, Mr. Bowie.
Monsieur Bowie.
Hello.
Hello. I see you took my advice.
Yes, and it worked very well. Thank you.
Thank you. You did us both a very great service.
That is right, my dear. Jouvin was becoming difficult. And now, as for you, I will give you just 24 hours to join me or get out of New Orleans.
And who are you, sir, to give me such an order?
Lafitte is my name. Jean Lafitte.
Well, my friend, he didn't give you much choice, did he? Either you come to Texas with me, or you stay here and join him.
Well, that might not be such a bad idea.
I think maybe you better come to Texas. You'll be safer with me. Much safer.
And here's the star of our show, Scott Forbes.
Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And will be with us next week for another exciting adventure in the life of Jim Bowie.
Adventuring man, Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie. He roamed the sun afraid from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie. He was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
New Orleans in 1830 was legally part of the United States. Illegally, it was any man's city. A whirlpool of intrigue, violence, and murder. And now it had hit me, Jim Bowie. River pirates had made off with $10,000 worth of my trade goods. I wanted them back. A lady I knew had volunteered to help. I was waiting for her. Mademoiselle Dupré, I hope this won't put you in danger.
No one saw me, and my coachman is loyal.
Very kind of you to help me.
No, monsieur. Selfish. I wish to return to France. If you get your goods back, you will be grateful, no?
I'll be grateful. What'd you find out?
Open, please. I'll only be a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Come with me. The man at the rear table.
The one with the glasses?
Yes, that is Simon Ogilvy. He dines here alone every night, late.
He doesn't look much like a pirate.
He is worse. A respectable lawyer for disrespectable men. Even advises them what to steal.
You think he might lead me to the thieves?
No, he would never lead you. You will have to find some way to gain his confidence. But it will have to be something clever. A man as well known as you. I will come to your hotel as soon as I learn something more. Quickly.
I acted quickly on the facts Madeleine Dupré had given me. That Ogilvy dined every night at the Barraterian, that he was nearsighted, and that he hated Lafitte.
Jim! Why, Cousin Homer. Well, Monsieur Bellarme, this is my cousin, Reverend Wilkins. I'll meet you inside. I'll be right there, John.
Jim, boy, I've been looking high and low for you. Called at your lodging 3 times today. Someone finally told me I might find you here at the theater.
Yeah. Something I can do for you, cousin?
We're in trouble, Jim. Bad trouble.
Oh?
My boys Matthew and Paul have run away from home.
Oh, that's not so bad. I did the same thing myself when I was 16.
Yeah, but they didn't run off to make their own way like you did, Jim. They ran off to go filibustering in South America. And their mother hasn't heard a blessed word from them since they left home.
Well, New Orleans is an exciting place. They've probably been too busy, you know what I mean?
No, sir. Not my boys. If they haven't written their mother, something's happened to them. Something dreadful. Find them, Jim. Please, look for them.
I don't know. Every time there's trouble in our family, Jim Bowie's got to saddle up and go help. Well, I'm sorry. This time, I'm going to help Jim Bowie for a change. I'm sorry, cousin. I'm busy.
I understand, Jim.
Look, why don't you go to the police? They can help you better than I can.
I've been there, Jim. But I thank you for your kindly advice. Goodbye, Jim.
Goodbye, Homer.
Waiter.
Yes, sir.
Bottle of Madeira, Sonny. And hurry it up. I got a thirst that's pressing real close to my bad temper.
Up to it! Shake a leg. Yeah. Well, don't stand there gawking, Sonny. Ain't you never seen a real saltwater sailor before? Go on, out of here.
Captain Hawkins?
That's what they call me, sir. Captain Hawkins, late of His Majesty's Royal Navy. And who might you be?
Jean-Jacques Toujours is my name, sir. I have the honor to represent Mr. Jim Bowie. He challenges you to a duel.
Jim Bowie? That pigeon-hearted pig? He's calling me out, is he? Give me that card. Now, sir, you may inform that lily-livered poltroon that I'll meet him any time, any place. Go on now, off you go. And who do you think you're staring at, Mighty?
Well, I couldn't help overhearing, sir, and I want you to know that if you'd care to be seconded in this affair, I'd be proud to oblige.
Well, that's very obliging of you, sir. Very obliging indeed. And may I have the acquaintance of your name, sir?
Ogilvy's the name. Simon Ogilvy, but won't you join me here, sir?
Well, I don't mind if I do, sir.
I have some knowledge of this scoundrel Bowie who challenged you, Captain. I should like you to know that I share your low esteem of him.
Then let's drink to his ill health, sir, and his cowardly and trembling hand in tomorrow's engagement. And may I ask, sir, what is your particular squall with Bowie?
Oh, it's troublesome inquisitiveness. In a word, I find him nosy.
Then fret no more, sir. Fret no more. Tomorrow he will be engaged and scuttled.
And may I add that if you bring about the extinction of Mr. Bowie on the morrow, certain advantages may come your way.
Tell me more, sir. Tell me more.
I know more about you than you realize, Captain. I've been following your activities in and around New Orleans for the last week or two.
Oh, you have you, sir? And what did you find out about me?
My, you are inquisitive, aren't you? It seems that both you and Mr. Bowie share that flaw in character, along with an interest in a certain Mademoiselle Dupree. Do you feel that it's hot in here, Captain?
Yes, it is getting a little hot.
Then I suggest you take off those ridiculous whiskers, Mr. Bowie. They must be unbearably itchy.
Well, dog my cats.
That was an amusing try, Bowie.
When'd you catch on?
I'm a devotee of the drama. I recognize the well-known actor Belle Arm. As a matter of fact, I've been waiting for you ever since Madeline pointed me out to you through the window last night. Has it occurred to you, Bowie, that in the back country from whence you come, your maneuvering might seem less clumsy?
I kind of like New Orleans. I don't think I'll leave just yet.
Don't let these silken gloves deceive you, Bowie.
Let's get to the point, Ogilvy. Who's your employer?
Oh, come, my good fellow. Let the curtain stay down. The show's over. It's time the players went home.
Somewhere in this city, there's stolen property of mine, which I intend to recover.
And how will you recover the fair Madeline?
Madeline?
She is beyond all conventional means of communication. Persist in this effort, and you may never see her again. There's a steamboat going north in precisely 1 hour. Be on it.
And if I'm not?
Then we shall take off the silken gloves. Why, look around you, man. This is not a stage. This is real. Could my carriage drive you to the steamboat wharf?
You know, Ogilvy, there's one thing I've learned about you.
And what's that?
You're as blind as a bat without your glasses.
Seize him! Seize him!
Howdy, come here, let's
Coming! Give him some more bruises and take him to his hotel.
The 3 or 4 days following that merciless beating were a blur to me. A week later, I was able to sit up and take stock of my misfortunes, and also a little food. My talented friend Bellarme was on hand to help me, and to help himself.
My bill, Mr. Bowie. Itemized and toted up.
Oh, thank you. To rental and ruination of pirate costume, complete with beard, mustache, and eye patch, $20. Use a 3-minute playlet entitled Invitation to the Duello, $15. Acting services of undersigned in said playlet, and instruction in Cockney accent, $25. Total, $65. Are you sure you included everything?
Well, there's no charge for the personal risk I incurred.
You got out of there well before the roof caved in.
I left precisely on cue.
You certainly did. Well, hand me my pouch. It's on the dresser. Oh, would you see who that is? Or will there be an extra charge? A lady. A young lady?
No, a character woman.
Mama. Mama, when did you...
Who are you?
Jean-Jacques Bellarme, tragedian, at your service, madame.
Well, take your service someplace else. What's going to happen here is a family matter, and strictly private.
Invitation to the duello.
Well, Mama, don't I get a little hug, a little kiss, huh?
The way you've been behaving, you're no son of mine, James.
What's the matter? What have I done wrong now?
Sit right down there.
Huh?
Sit right down, I'm telling you. Here. I want you to strike that out in your own hand, right there. That name over your brother Reason. And if you don't do it, I will.
You mean you want my name struck out of the family Bible?
I do. Use the pen.
Well, I don't want it taken out. That's an awful thing to do.
It's a jot more awful to turn down your kinfolks. Turning down your own family and cousin. You ought to be ashamed, Jim.
That's what it is. Cousin Homer, huh?
Yeah, and he came to you in a great need, and you turned your back on him.
I sent him to the police.
Do you think he'd tell his troubles to a stranger?
That's what the police are for.
Not where we come from. Where we come from, that's what kinfolk are for. But you wouldn't remember that, would you? Because you're too busy consorting up and down this wicked city with stage actors and painted ladies. And you think you're a son of mine.
Oh, Mama. Don't have to get upset.
Well, can't you see how Cousin Sarah feels about their missing boy?
Well, can't you see how I feel about my missing goods?
Oh, never mind about your goods. There's a law of God and there's a law of kinship, and you can't turn your back to either of them.
Oh, Mama, stop it. No sermons, please. I can't turn my back on $10,000 either.
The Lord moves in a mysterious way, and as long as you're right, Jim, He'll reward you.
All right, Mama. I'll look for him. I'll start right in.
Well, that's better.
Mama knew even less than Cousin Homer about where the missing boys might have gone, and Cousin Homer knew nothing. My best possible source of information was Maurice Toulouse, the journalist.
All I know is that boys of 16 to 20 arrive by the dozen, filled with hopes of glory and gold in the army of liberation.
And just why do they aim to liberate?
Who knows? Any one of the troubled countries to the south.
And do these filibustering outfits ever actually leave the city?
I doubt it. But then everything they do is highly secret. Wait. I remember talking with someone. He was grieving the loss of a son to some vague cause. Let's see now. Some shopkeeper. Yes, the apothecary. Charpentier in Canal Street.
Fight and die on foreign soil? Bah! My son's body was found in the bayou, upriver, not 5 miles from here. Just turned 17 he was. Too young to die. An accident, the lieutenant said, on training maneuvers.
Lieutenant? What lieutenant?
Maduro, the officer of conscription. A Spaniard, formerly a pirate, they tell me.
You know where I can find him?
Yes, at the Au Col Bleu on the waterfront. I wouldn't go there if I were you, though.
Au Col Bleu on the waterfront. Hurry.
Mr. Bowie.
Here's your man, Capitan.
Well, Jouvin. And Mr. Ogilvy. Quite a family reunion.
You will be more comfortable without your weapon, monsieur. I have had reason to respect that knife. Oh, have you met Marcel, monsieur? To his intimates, he is better known as the Butcher of Barbados. So you must not let his air of gentility deceive you. He also is a formidable man with knives. Oh, but enough of the pleasantries. Monsieur, you have come here for business.
No. But after seeing some of my stolen goods and your wharf, we might as well put business on the agenda.
This is regrettable, Bowie. You should have taken my advice.
Funny thing is, it was someone else's advice that brought me here. I had nothing to do with stolen goods. I'm looking for two missing cousins of mine who might have been recruited by a man named Maduro.
You have reason to believe that they are among our conscripts?
The trail seems to lead this way.
Their names, please.
Paul and Matthew Wilkins.
Oh, I know them quite well, monsieur. High-spirited young men. In fact, much too high-spirited. We have had to discipline them.
Yeah?
To train our recruits for military service in foreign lands, we try to give them practical experience here, along the river.
You mean like robbing barges and flatboats?
Collecting supplies for our compatriots to the south. Unfortunately, some of them object. Your cousins have been very stubborn, very persistent in hanging on to such awkward virtues as honesty, morality.
I can imagine they would be quite stubborn that way, being sons of a preacher. Can I see them?
Marcel, take Monsieur Bowie to the disciplinary barracks.
Oui, Monsieur Captain.
A most pleasant visit with your cousins, monsieur.
Thanks, General.
You and your knives are becoming legendary, Mr. Bowie. I'd like to cross blades with you someday. In a friendly way, of course.
Yeah, I imagine you could be real friendly with a blade.
The Butcher of Barbados, they call me. This way.
Didn't you once sail out of Trinidad on a brig called the Starlight?
I did.
A friend of mine was on that ship, a man called Mark Melville.
He met with an accident, as I recall, sir.
Yeah.
Jailer. You'll find your cousins in there.
Hey!
You stupid American clod.
Cousin Jim! What are you doing here?
Looking for you two. And now that I found you, you don't look so good.
Don't feel so good either.
Look at our backs, Cousin Jim.
They've been whipping us like mules.
Well, it's no more than you deserve. Running away from your mother, not even writing to her.
We couldn't, Cousin Jim. They wouldn't let us.
Well, what's this all about? Have you found out anything?
They had us collecting goods from the docks. Supplies for the patriots in Venezuela.
Then we saw your name on some of it, and we knew better.
Oh.
What are you grinning about?
Oh, well, just something Mama said. The Lord works in a mysterious way, his wonders to perform. And it looks like we're going to have to perform a little wonder ourselves. Any ideas how we're going to get out of here?
We've been preparing while we've been waiting. Look.
Well, now, look at this.
We made it. Piece of old iron hinge.
We all took turns scraping it on the stone sill.
Finally got an edge on it.
You sure did.
Can you use it?
I can try. They ever feed you boys?
Twice a day they push in some hog slop. She's walking again.
Who is?
Miss Dupre.
Miss Dupre?
Yeah, she's a prisoner like we are.
She is she?
Give me the keys. Get back. Get back. Which way is the stairs?
That way.
Watch yourselves.
Look out!
Mademoiselle Dupre.
Monsieur Bowie.
I heard you were up here.
Joubin, the beast. He found out I was trying to help you. I think he intends to kill me.
Well, tell me about it later. Let's get out of here.
Before you leave, Mr. Bowie, I should like the pleasure of engagement. Knife to knife. It is your own blade, monsieur. I dislike taking unfair advantage.
Stand back, mademoiselle. I knew the second mate on that ship. It was no accident to kill Mark Melville. He got a knife in the back.
Yes, American, this one. It was the 9th notch. You see, I have a reputation, too. You will be the 10th and most famous of all my victims.
Keep bragging, Butcher. I don't like to take unfair advantage either.
That was stupid of you, American. I can so easily break your bones.
Come right ahead.
Get your things.
Wait a minute. I promised you I'd be grateful. You said your heart's desire was to return to France, isn't it?
It was. Rubies. They're worth a fortune.
I ought to pay your passage back to France.
That is only my second choice now.
And your first?
Don't you know? Really?
I'm nothing but trouble, Madeline. Nothing but trouble. You don't believe me? Ask my mother.
Better hurry, cousin.
Hell, boys.
We got him down, but we can't guarantee how long.
Well, come on. Hello, Mama.
Just a minute. Did you find Cousin Homer's boys?
Yes, I did. They're home safe and sound. I just came from there.
Oh, the Lord be praised. I knew you could do it, Jim.
Oh, you did, huh? I see you didn't take my name out of the Bible.
Oh, sure. You knew I couldn't do that.
No, I didn't. I wasn't sure. You can be pretty ornery sometimes.
Are you all right?
Yes, I am. We broke up that gang of river pirates, and their leaders are in jail.
And your $10,000, did you get it back?
Well, most of it. I lost around 1,000, I'd say. But it was worth it. I learned 2 lessons on this trip.
What lessons?
Well, first, you were right, Mama. The Lord does move in a mysterious way, his wonders to perform. And second, There isn't an actress in New Orleans as pretty as you.
Why, Jim.
And here's the star of our show, Scott Forbes.
Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And we'll be with us again next week for another exciting adventure in the life of Jim Bowie.
Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. He roamed the wilderness unafraid, from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
In the country around Opelousas, where I was raised, a man could ride from sunup to sundown without seeing a fence. The trails were like the sky and the sunlight, free to everybody. My name's Jim Bowie. And though it wasn't trouble, I was hunting in old Monsieur Trudeau's woods. I found it aplenty.
That's a real fine bear dog you got there, Huntsman.
Get out.
You talking to me?
You will hunt no more in these woods. I have orders from Monsieur le Comte.
Monsieur le Comte, who's he?
A relative of the widow Trudeau.
Old Lady Trudeau, huh? Well, you give the Count a message from me. You tell him that old Monsieur Trudeau used to hunt in my woods, and I'll hunt in his.
Guru, get him!
As soon as I'd finished my business in New Orleans, I made straight for the Trudeau house in Royale Street. Old Monsieur Trudeau had been our neighbor at Opelousas for many years. Though I'd never laid eyes on his wife, it seemed to me that the old lady was due for some plain talk.
To state your business, monsieur.
My business is with Madame Trudeau, monsieur.
I am a kinsman of Madame. I shall speak for her.
Well, that's quite agreeable with me, but I'd like to have her in the room while you're doing it.
Monsieur, your manners need correction.
Armand. I was told Monsieur Bowie was here.
He is. Your servant, ma'am.
Astonishing.
Leon, I ask you to retire. I shall speak for my brother.
But not for me, my child. Won't you please sit down?
Well, thank you, but my time's very short. Would you take me to Madame Trudeau?
Madame Trudeau? She is here.
You?
You were expecting someone different?
Yes, ma'am.
My husband often spoke of the great Jim Bowie.
Excuse me. Oh, yeah, your husband was a very fine old gentleman. I mean, he was a fine gentleman. I thought a lot of him.
And he of you. Alas, he could never persuade me to visit, how do you say it?
Opelousas?
Yes.
I do not care for the country, you see. And my dear husband, he spoiled me. He longed for the tranquility of Opelousas, but I was very young, and tranquility had no charms for me.
Didn't you ever have any curiosity about your neighbors?
When my husband spoke of you, he spoke as a man speaks. He did not mention the qualities that a woman would notice.
Such as?
You have urgent affair to discuss with me, yes?
Yes, if I can just recall what it is. Oh, yeah. Monsieur Trudeau was a very good neighbor. There's something going on down there now that I don't think he'd have liked.
At Opelousas?
Yes. 2 days ago, I was run off your property by a man who said he was acting on the orders of Monsieur le Comte.
Oh, it is Armand's elder brother, the Comte de Nivernais.
I see. Then he's acting with your approval?
The Count is a stranger here. He does not understand American ways. But you will always be welcome on my land, monsieur.
Thank you. That's good to know. Then there was another thing. Your husband always said that if his property at Opelousas should ever change hands, I'd be given first refusal.
Well, it is a great responsibility for a woman alone. All that sugar cane. It is sugar cane. Sugar cane. A very valuable property. Then you think I should dispose of it?
Yes. To me.
But the Count, he also wishes to acquire it.
I'll offer you more.
Monsieur, I am rich. Money is not the first important thing. My husband had a feeling for his property. I know he would wish it in good hands.
Well, those are my sentiments exactly. Then it's a bargain. It'll be a pleasure to do business with you, ma'am.
You're working too fast, monsieur. I am only a woman and not clever at business. What a pity your time is so short.
I got all the time in the world.
Tomorrow? Perhaps I will have an answer for you then.
Would you put that in the form of a promise?
Certainly. I promise that you may call again tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am. My rig's waiting. Always did prefer to talk business in the open air.
Monsieur Bowie, no one talks business on Sunday.
Huh? Oh, well, then we have to talk about something else.
Monsieur, I am escorting the lady.
We'll excuse you. Shall we go?
Indeed, no. I have just been to Mass. I have to change my costume.
Oh.
And my mood.
Oh.
Armand, what is this?
Go into the house. Monsieur, I do not find your conduct acceptable. I demand satisfaction.
Oh, but this is absurd.
Do as he says, ma'am. Now, look, son. You don't have to prove anything to me. I'm sorry if I ruffled your feathers, but we don't have to fight a duel, do we?
Is that all you have to say, monsieur?
Yeah, isn't that enough?
Then you are not only a boor, but a coward.
Those are big words, son.
I have done with words, monsieur. Defend yourself.
You stick to your book of rules, and I'll stick to mine. Madame Trudeau doesn't need any chaperone. If she ever does, better be someone bigger. Here. Put away your steel and let's shake hands.
Defend yourself, monsieur. Monsieur!
This is your coat, you know. I've seen you fight now. Let's be friends, huh?
My brother will kill you for this.
Here.
Well, Monsieur Bowie,
My apologies, ma'am.
you
I
have
didn't...
disgraced yourself and me, not
Huh?
to speak of Armand.
Well, can't you make allowances for a wild backwoodsman?
But you are not a wild backwoodsman. You're a man of importance, of birth and property. You could be the equal of any gentleman in New Orleans, and look at yourself. A creature with the clothes of a plowboy and the manners of a red Indian.
Oh, there you are. At last.
Hello, Maurice.
You have been avoiding me.
It's been kind of busy.
What is the occasion? A wedding or a funeral?
I don't know yet.
Listen, mon ami. It is the privilege of an old friend to speak the disagreeable truth. The lady is not for you.
You're a newspaper man, Maurice. You ought to know better than to listen to gossip.
I hope I won't have to print it. Mon ami, resume your buckskins and go back to your wilderness. You and Madame Trudeau are of different worlds. You don't belong in hers.
I don't belong in this discussion either.
Jim, I warn you. You will get hurt.
Save your breath, Maurice. Print your gossip if you like.
A little better, but still you clutch.
Oh.
Remember, Monsieur Bowie, I am not something to eat.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, no, ma'am.
All right, once again.
Well, look, this is silly. Where I come from, a kiss is a kiss. I prefer the American way.
Bonjour, madame.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Hey, are we ready to begin today's lesson?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Oui, monsieur. Monsieur, your party. Un, deux, trois. Un, deux, trois. Turn, 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 turn.
Ah, monsieur, I must advise you that you have need to be more skillful.
Explain yourself.
On guard. In a practice hand, monsieur, the foil is an angel of death. In a hand such as yours, compose yourself, monsieur. To die by the sword is the final elegance.
What are you trying to tell me?
Only that the charming widow is very lovely and very rich.
Go on.
Our Creole gentlemen are of a jealous disposition, and they are trained in swordsmanship from the cradle.
Well, I'm a long ways from the cradle, so I reckon it's too late for me to get the hang of it.
Monsieur Parmentier is arranging a party at the opera. They say he's enamored with the new singer, Madame Solange. Can you believe it?
I'm afraid I won't be here for Monsieur Parmentier's party.
Not here.
Nope. I'll be on the road to Opelousas.
Will you make a long stay?
I live there. Maybe you've forgotten that.
I shall miss you.
No, you won't. You're coming with me.
Coming with you?
Now, you said you weren't very clever at business, but you must know you can't get something for nothing.
But I would die in Opelousas.
You wouldn't do any such thing. You'll get brown in the sun. You get fat on Mama's cooking.
Oh, dear.
You'll learn to ride a horse astride and to shoot like a man.
Oh, don't.
And when I get a hankering to come back here and visit New Orleans again, you won't even want to come. I'll have to drag you here, kicking and scratching.
Oh, you're mad.
I don't know what the folks will say back home when they see me coming down the pike all decked out like a riverboat gambler. smelling like a rose. But with you alongside me, it'll be worth it. Leanne, we'll have a wedding such as Opelousas never saw.
Madame, I took the liberty of entering unannounced.
Of course. What a pity you can't stay, Monsieur Bowie.
Bowie of Opelousas.
Your servant.
Oh, my kinsman, the Comte de Nivernais.
Monsieur.
Count?
I have just returned from your part of the country. Tell me, are you a huntsman?
Victor, we must not keep Monsieur Bowie.
You're not keeping me.
The woods appear most promising. Tell me, is there good sport?
You can usually stir up a little excitement.
Ah, excellent. I must have some shooting before returning to France.
I'll be glad to have you as my guest, sir.
Thank you, monsieur. I should prefer to try my luck on my own estates, adjoining yours.
I'm afraid I beat you to it. Madame Trudeau has agreed to sell to me.
You have made a mistake, monsieur. Madame has done me the honor of accepting my proposal of marriage. And the estate at Opelousas is part of the marriage settlement.
Is this the truth? Is it, Leanne? My apologies, Count. This is the last time I'll trespass on your property.
Mon ami, try not to remember the lady with bitterness. Did I not warn you that she was of a different world? To her and her kind, marriage is a business arrangement. Her father bestowed her on old Trudeau because he was rich. She bestows herself on the Count because he has a title. Being who and what she is, she cannot do otherwise.
She can bestow herself on the king of the Cannibal Islands if she has a mind to. But once she's bound herself, she shouldn't act as if she was free.
I'll answer it.
Monsieur Toulouse, I would have a word with you, Monsieur Bowie. Monsieur, you will be a witness.
Quickly, mon ami, hit him!
Your friend is quick-witted. He knows if you strike me with your fist, you will be debarred from the privilege of the duel.
A duel is no privilege to me. I fight for my own reasons, nobody else's.
You have grossly insulted my brother and forced your attentions on the lady who is to become my wife.
Is that what she told you?
Monsieur, I did not question her. I say your attentions were unwelcome. If you say otherwise, you're a liar.
Hey, Count, you're really spoiling for a fight, aren't you?
Monsieur, my name is a proud one. I cannot marry until the stain of this scandal has been wiped away.
Well, in that case, let's get it over with. I don't want to hold up the wedding.
Dear Matt.
Maurice, will you act for me?
As the challenged party, you have the choice of weapons, monsieur.
Where I come from, we generally settle our differences with our fists.
We will choose pistols.
Oh, is Monsieur Bowie afraid to match swords with my brother?
Armor.
On second thought, make it swords.
Jim, don't be a fool.
Maurice, you make all the arrangements. We mustn't keep the bride waiting.
At sunrise tomorrow, behind the cathedral. Monsieur knows the place.
You have just thrown your life away.
You think so?
The Count is a deadly swordsman. You'll be helpless against him.
Well, maybe he'll let me off easy.
You talk like a child. He knows his future wife has a weakness for you. He must kill you to ensure his hold upon her affections and her dowry.
Well, if things are as bad as you say, I'd better write a letter to Mama.
Jim, for heaven's sake.
I followed the Count. There has been a challenge.
Naturally.
How foolish men are.
It is women who make them so.
My carriage is outside. We can be 20 miles away by daybreak.
We?
Yes, isn't it what you wanted?
I'm going to Opelousas.
Then I, too, will go to Opelousas.
You trying to tell me to run away?
Yes, I implore you.
Look, I can't make you a countess.
It does not matter. Please come.
You won't see any opera in Opelousas.
You mustn't stay. Come with me.
My nearest neighbor does belong to a mighty old family. He's part Choctaw. I believe Mama said his wife had quit dipping snuff.
You despise me.
Oh, no, ma'am, I don't despise you.
Seems I think more highly of you than you think of me, else you wouldn't be here.
But you cannot fight him.
I've been hearing a lot about the Count's proud name. What you folks don't seem to understand is I'm proud of my name, too. Maurice? Show Madame Trudeau to a carriage.
It isn't necessary. God be with you.
If my luck runs out, see that Mama gets this, will you?
What are you going to do? Pray, I hope.
Well, first I'm going to pay a little visit to Captain Jean Lafitte.
Lafitte? That cutthroat. He knows nothing of affairs of honor.
That's the point. But he knows a great deal about swords. We brought our own. We said swords, didn't we?
Monsieur!
No, Armand. It will make the contest more interesting.
Satisfied, Count?
No, monsieur.
All right. We'll do it my way. Come on, put up your hands. That's it.
I've traveled much in England, monsieur. My mother was related to the Marquis of Queensberry.
Marquis of Queensberry, huh?
You satisfied now?
Monsieur?
What are you saying? Death would be preferable.
Oh, be quiet, Armand. My respects, monsieur. I shall always be grateful that you did not allow me to kill you.
Don't mention it.
That the aforesaid property shall, in consideration of the aforesaid sum...
Oh, Monsieur Duroux. One of the first things Monsieur Bowie ever said to me was that his time was short. Thank you. The land is yours, Monsieur. Good hunting.
Thank you, Countess.
I'll be thinking of you walking in those woods. I wish I could have walked beside you. But they are so hard and rough, those ways through the woods. Adieu.
Adieu.
No. Once.
Here's the star of our show, Scott Forbes.
Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And will be with us again next week for another exciting adventure in the life of Jim Bowie.
Adventure in man, Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie. He roamed the wilderness unafraid from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. He roamed the wilderness unafraid from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
It was the night before Christmas, and the hot pie sellers in the streets made all New Orleans smell like Mama's kitchen. This year, though, fast as my thoughts turned to Mama's kitchen, I steered him away. It was a long road home, and I had other plans for the holiday. But before it was over, I was to learn there's more than one road to Christmas. Sure as my name's Jim Bowie.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, mon ami.
Same to you, Maurice. A hot rum toddy, please. Well, where is it? Let's see it.
I searched for 3 days before making my choice. If you're not satisfied, our friendship is at an end.
Well, now, look at this. That's a beautiful brooch. I sure wish I could see Mama's face when she finds this in her Christmas stocking.
Perhaps you should change your mind and deliver it to her in person.
Might as well ask me to change the course of the Mississippi River. My shipment of indigo is held up on a sandbar just above Natchez. Won't make New Orleans till Christmas night.
It means a lot to you, that shipment.
$10,000 to your profit.
I think she would gladly exchange it for a sight of that ugly face of yours.
Now listen, Maurice, there are times when I wish you'd stop telling me how to run my life.
Bowie of Opelousas?
Merry Christmas, sir. I can handle my own affairs, you know.
They say that you are quite a great man, especially when there's a knife in your hand.
Is that so?
Look, monsieur, you are superfluous. This quarrel is between friends.
No, my dear sir, no. No. It is you who are superfluous.
Where is he? Where's that fellow?
He left in a hurry.
Which way to go? Way to go?
Who can tell? Perhaps to spend Christmas with his mother.
Now listen, Maurice, there's no time to be amusing. Where's that? Wait a minute. Where's that brooch? He took it. Anyone know that man?
I have seen him, I think. Last night at the baccarat table.
Yeah? What's his name?
My memory is not good.
Maybe I can help your memory.
Monsieur, with all respect, his name I do not know. Only that his home is Bellecine.
Bellecine? Where's that?
About 20 miles up the river road. Jim, you shouldn't go alone.
My drink is on the house.
Alciblade, my son. Welcome.
I'm sorry, sir. There's been some
Esme, Alciblade is here. Alciblade is returned.
Miss, what is all this?
Dear, dear uncle.
Huh?
Please, say nothing. I'll explain later.
Did I not say my prayers would be answered?
Come, let's go in.
Oh, no, my dear. You need no longer bear an old man's weight. Alciblade is here. Alciblade. Your arm. You see, Israel, Alciblade has come home.
Now, look, mademoiselle, I can't...
Monsieur, it's Christmas Day, and you have it in your power to give a great gift to all of us here at Bellasime. Oh, I know you won't refuse.
I'm sorry, I've come to Bellasime for an entirely different reason.
Please? You see, I can explain why you're washing. The water is beautifully hot,
Yeah.
and you are rather dusty.
Yeah.
The old gentleman downstairs is Jean-Baptiste Plochel. His daughter was my mother, and his son, his only son, was my Uncle Alciblade.
The man he takes me for? Must be a strong resemblance, huh?
Well, there is enough for him. My uncle, too, was tall and dark-haired. And he was the handsomest, gayest, kindest creature, my mother used to say. And the one his father loved best in all the world. This is his room. It's just as he left it 20 years ago.
20 years ago? Well, he'd have changed by now. He'd be middle-aged. Can't the old gentleman see that?
Well, he sees what he wants to see. For him, those 20 years have never been. And Alciblade is still the young man who set off so gaily for Paris to make his grand tour. It was a day in spring when he went away. And he promised his father he would come back to have Christmas dinner with him. But God willed otherwise. And his ship was lost with all on board.
I see. So that's why your grandfather is so confused.
Well, consider, monsieur, his only son. My mother used to say he was never the same man. Never. Now he's old, and his mind is clouded, and he thinks that you...
Yeah, I know what he thinks. But I'm sorry, this is just a piece of bad luck for both of us.
It's been the same for so many Christmases. This morning at daylight, he was rapping his cane on the back gallery, calling all the servants together. This room must be arranged, and dinner prepared, and all must be in readiness for the return of Alciblade. And then he sat down to wait, faithfully, like a child.
Mademoiselle, I know what you're intending to ask, and I hope you won't.
Well, how can I not ask you? It's what I've prayed for, that God would give just one more happy Christmas Day to my grandfather. And the good God answered me. Why else are you here? You understand now. You will let him believe just for this one day that you're his son. You will grant him his Christmas dinner with Alciblade.
I'm afraid I can't. I mean, I'm here on urgent business of my own.
Welcome home, Mr. Alciblade.
No, I'm not going to wear another man's clothes.
It's his coat. Put it on.
I don't want to wear his thing.
First one arm,
Well, I can tell you right now,
then the other.
It won't fit.
So.
There's no point in trying.
Alciblade, I would like you next to me. Where is André? André? Fool of a Josh forgot to wake me. I'm terrible.
André.
I beg to be excused. We will not excuse you. Come, pay your respects to your uncle. What?
Your uncle, Alciblade.
André, follow your sister's example and make your uncle welcome. Welcome, uncle. Oh, no, Israel, my son. My Heavenly Father, on this Christmas day, we remember the Holy Family, keeping the first Christmas under a humble roof. And we ask thy blessing upon the families of men who cherish this day above all others, united in love of one another and of thee. Amen. Esme, 2 lumps. I beg to be excused. My children, by the grace of God, we are all here together, perhaps for the last time, and I have a duty to perform. Your arm, my son. Esme, André, please attend us to the library. Lead on, Uncle. Surely you know the way to the library.
Oh, Andre, don't joke. Grandpapa, you take my arm. Uncle Alcibiade's legs are so long. I'm sure he must tire you.
Put that down. You're safe under this roof. And you've had enough to drink. Look, if I can put on a good face to give your grandfather a happy Christmas, so can you. Come on.
Here, my son. Here is the treasure of De Prochel. Alcibiade, come and stand beside me. Here are the family seals with the coat of arms of De Prochel, which we have had since the First Crusade. And here is the deed to this house, Bellissime, with all its broad acres. And here are the jewels of Prochel, made to the order of my namesake, the great Jean-Baptiste de Prochel, Marshal of France, in the time of Henry IV. For generations, these jewels have graced the ladies of our family. On your wedding day, you will present them to your wife, with my blessing. When my father grew old and tired as I am now, I had this key from his hands, and in receiving it, I assumed the guardianship of the treasure of Flochelle, of the destiny of Flochelle, and the honor of Flochelle. Take it, my son.
Oh, sir, I can't.
Alciblade, I command you, lock the strongbox. And now, you are master here, my son. Oh, thank God for this day. Esme, I'm very tired.
Well, come and rest.
Bowie, I stole your brooch, you know that. I regretted it immediately, but I had no choice. I have immense gambling debts, and there is no one I can turn to.
If you're looking for sympathy from me, you're wasting your breath. You belong behind bars. I'd be happy to put you there. But I don't want to see those two suffer. So if you give me back my brooch, I'll consider the debt canceled.
Certainly. On condition that you give me the key to the strongbox.
Not a chance.
What I ask is not wrong. Alciblade is dead. I am my grandfather's heir. When he dies, the jewels will be mine, but I must have money now.
You worthless. You think I'd help you sell those jewels?
No, I don't intend to sell them. I merely intend to offer them as a security for a loan. And when my grandfather's estate is mine, I shall reclaim them and no one will be the wiser.
Your grandfather mentioned the Flochelle honor. How do you figure to reclaim that?
What do I care about the Flochelle honor? For years, I've been living in the shadow of a dead man. I'm treated like a child. I have nothing that is mine. Everything's for Alciblade.
Keep your voice down.
Bowie, I warn you. If you don't give me that key, I shall go to my grandfather and I shall tell him the truth.
Well, there's the door.
Will you give me that key?
Alciblade!
Yes, sir? I'm here.
This is a strong hand. It's a man's hand. My boy is a boy no longer.
Well, consider. He's been gone for nearly a year.
A year? I don't know. Sometimes it seems like a dream. Alciblade?
Yes, sir?
Was the turkey to your taste?
Yeah, it was best I ever ate.
I remember that you liked it dressed with pecans. The big pecans from the tree on the bayou. I had them gathered expressly for you.
He's asleep. Monsieur. Monsieur, I have no words to thank you.
Oh.
And I know my brother, too, is very grateful.
I wouldn't be too sure of that, mademoiselle.
Well, I know he may not think it's manly to say so, but I know what's in his heart. And I know, too, that he is sometimes very lonely. It's good that he has a friend like you.
Yeah, oh. Well, I wouldn't say we were friends exactly. Might say we had some business dealings.
Well, you came here on business. But you will stay as a friend?
I'm afraid that's impossible. I have to be in New Orleans tonight. What's the old gentleman going to say when he wakes up and finds I've left?
Monsieur, you came to us as a gift of God. And God does not send his gifts incomplete. He'll provide.
Well, that seems an awful lot to ask. Even of God. Excuse me.
Monsieur, if you will accompany me to the garden, I think we can conclude our transaction.
All right.
Turn around. The key. Give it to me. I'll cut it out of you.
All right, I give up. You can have the key.
All right. Give it to me.
Andre, Mr. Bowie. You see, Monsieur, it's as I said. God does not give his gifts incomplete.
I've never known how to ask for pardon. But you know, somehow after all that has passed, it is not so difficult to say, forgive me.
And you've learned something worth knowing. Maybe I have, too.
What is this?
You said you needed security for a loan.
But you've forgotten I've just inherited my... Yes. Yes, you are right. Those jewels are not really mine at all, are they? I am just their guardian. You trust me.
And it's not a gift. Just as soon as you're out of your difficulties, I expect it back, and don't you forget that.
But the woman for whom it was intended...
The woman for whom it was intended is my mother. But she'd just as soon have something else. And I'm going to give it her.
Monsieur Bowie, I cannot imagine what your mother could find more magnificent than this.
Well, I've never considered myself magnificent, but who am I to argue with Mama? Come on, boy. We're going home. Merry Christmas.
here's the star of our show, Scott Forbes.
Hello. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And that you'll be with us next week for another adventure in the exciting life of Jim Bowie.
He roamed the wilderness unafraid, from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
In the year 1830, New Orleans was a frontier city, the gateway to the vast empire that had been added to the United States by the Louisiana Purchase. Man, it was a rough place, New Orleans. Waterfront thieves and river pirates respected no man's property, including mine. My name's Jim Bowie. I had goods stacked on the docks, and I was keeping my eye on them.
Hey! Let me go. I will not go with you.
You pushed those sacks on me.
And if I had a sword, I would run you through.
Oh, you would you? I got a good notion to give you a licking.
You would not dare.
Wouldn't I? A boy your age running around trying to kill people?
Ah, there's the little angel. We've been chasing him all over the blooming waterfront.
Oh.
Many thanks to you, kind sir.
You better hold him tight. He's a dangerous character.
Monsieur, please, do not let them take me. They wish me harm.
Shut up. Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? Harm?
Is it harm to take the little runaway one to his worried parents?
They tell a lie, Monsieur.
Ah, little cat.
Hold it. Now, let's get this straight. What?
You stay out of this.
Still here?
Why should I run, monsieur?
You were running from those two.
I was outnumbered, monsieur.
Well, how about me?
You seem to be of somewhat better quality than those ruffians.
What's your name?
I, sir, am the Marquis de Gravillon.
Well, now.
But I understand I should not use my title in America. You may call me Monsieur Francois.
Oh, thank you, Monsieur Francois. You can call me Monsieur Jim. How long you been in America?
1 hour. I do not like it.
Oh. Well, tell me something. If you're French, how come you speak with an English accent?
I was in school in England for several years. I did not like it.
You didn't, huh? Where are your parents?
I'm alone. I was told I was met by my aunt. Those two fellows said she'd sent them. But they did not deceive me. My aunt would never send such men to greet me.
Who's your aunt?
Mademoiselle Marie de Gravillon. You'll be good enough to escort me to her.
Oh, I will I?
But naturally, you would not be among my aunt's acquaintances.
No, I'm not.
However, you've heard perhaps my great-grandfather, Monsieur Paul Tournet, with whom she lives.
Yeah, I heard of him. All right, Sonny. Monsieur, I'll take you. Come on.
And not that way, monsieur. My luggage is this way.
Yes, Your Excellency. Let's get your luggage.
My cape.
Well, dog my cats.
I'll see that my great-grandfather gives you a suitable reward.
Yes, sir.
This conference has gone on much too long. You must get your sleep, grandfather.
Sleep? I shall sleep soon enough. Marie, I have reached a decision. I was just telling Edouard. I want you to marry, that I can die content.
Oh, you must not speak of death, grandfather.
Death has taken your brother and his family. It will take me. You will set the date for the marriage at once.
We will speak of it tomorrow, grandfather.
We will speak of it today. Marie, you are now the sole heir to both the de Gravion estate and to my company, which is in Edouard's capable hands. There is no reason for delay.
Very well, grandfather. We will make the arrangements.
Tomorrow I will see Father Labelle.
Until then, my dearest.
Island, sir.
Yes?
Hi. This boy has just arrived from France. I believe he belongs here.
Here?
He says he's the Marquis de Gravion. Mr. Paul Tournay is his great-grandfather.
You seem to be the victim of a little joke, sir. I bid you good evening.
I am the Marquis de Gravion.
And I, young sir, am the Duc d'Orléans. I again bid you good evening.
Good evening.
You have made a stupid mistake.
Huh?
This is obviously not the home of Paul Tournay.
This is the Tournay home, and the only mistake I've made is getting mixed up with you in the first place.
I also regret it.
And what are your plans now?
I suppose this town has a hotel of some sort, no? I will go there. And in the morning I will secure competent help in locating the house of Paul Tournay.
This is the... You have money, no doubt.
Money? I've never had to concern myself with money, monsieur.
Come on, let's go.
Go where, monsieur?
If your Royal Highness has no objection, I will now take you to my hotel, where I will try to persuade the manager to accept you as a guest, in spite of your novel ideas about money.
I'm beginning to be annoyed at your impertinence, sir.
Come on. What's the matter now?
At home, the servants use towels like this to polish the furniture.
Now, listen, young fellow, this is one of the best hotels in New Orleans.
No doubt. I was warned that the New World was quite uncivilized.
Oh, you were?
Hang these up. And these.
And were you also warned the New World does not take kindly to impostors?
No, monsieur. It was not expected that I would encounter persons of that description.
I might have been referring to you.
No one has ever thought me as a liar before in my whole life. It is a new experience. I do not like it.
This ought to be just right for a boy your size. Well, now, look at this. And who decided you were going to have the bed?
I did not know it needed deciding, monsieur. Have you ever slept on a floor before?
You bet I have.
Then you are used to it, while I am not.
Wait a minute, what's this?
It was my father's.
Can I have a look at it? What's this, a family crest?
Yes, the de Gravion coat of arms.
And this is a motto.
Et toi, le ciel t'aidera.
Huh. Help yourself, and heaven will help you. Well, you've done that all right. You helped yourself to my time, my patience, and now my bed.
I have told you, monsieur, that you would be rewarded.
You know, you just might be who you say you are. No one could have your gall and not be. How did it happen you traveled to America alone? Where are your parents?
Dead, monsieur. They gave their lives in the struggle.
What struggle?
For liberty, sir.
Liberty in France? I thought that was all over. I thought the Bourbons had turned the tables on Napoleon and got their throne back.
Frenchmen will never stop fighting for liberty. The Marquis de Lafayette still leads the struggle.
Lafayette?
He was a friend of my father's. He made all the arrangements and wrote my great-grandfather that he was sending me here.
Oh. Well, you better go to sleep now. We'll get all this straightened out in the morning.
Good. No doubt in the daylight you'll be able to find the right house.
Now, look, I told you.
I told you never to come here.
But, Monsieur, we had to come. You saw the boy. He got away from us, he did.
Find him.
We already have. He's at the Royal Oaks Tavern.
Then, what are you doing here?
Ah, very good. Very good indeed. Hey, Regan?
I'm not going to hurt you, miss. Oh, I just use this to open the window.
What do you want? Ah!
I must talk with you. It's going to be a little awkward if we have to hold this position for long. I'll let you go if you promise not to scream. That's better.
Who are you?
My name's Jim Bowie, ma'am.
Oh. I did not know you included housebreaking among your adventures.
Well, I don't claim to be an expert. Are you Mademoiselle Marie de Gravillon?
I am. And I demand to know the reason for this outrageous behavior.
Do you have a nephew named Francois de Gravillon?
No.
You sure?
I see no reason to discuss my personal affairs with you. He was killed 5 months ago in France with his parents.
Are you certain he was killed?
Why do you ask such questions? Must you torture me?
It just may be that he was not killed.
Well, this is diabolical. To come here and raise false hopes. To renew the agony of realization.
You ever see this before?
Where did you get this?
From your nephew, Francois. He's asleep in my hotel room right now.
Here, in New Orleans?
Uh-huh.
But the letter said the whole family had perished.
Not Francois. He's very much alive. Now, this letter about his family. Did you see it?
But of course. There is something very wrong here, monsieur. Why have you come here secretly? Why did you not bring Francois with you?
I did, earlier this evening. A young gentleman closed the door in our face.
That is strange. Edouard would certainly investigate something as important as that.
Edouard?
My fiancé, Monsieur Dubois, my grandfather's manager.
Oh. Now, this letter, was it from the Marquis de Lafayette?
Yes.
Written by himself?
But certainly.
And you're familiar with his handwriting?
No, but... What are you implying, monsieur?
Are you by any chance the heir to the de Gravillon estate and to your grandfather's business right here as well, in the absence of a male heir such as Francois?
You lie. That is a dreadful accusation against my fiancé.
Well, I'm not engaged to him, so I can afford to be suspicious.
I have perfect confidence in Edouard.
I don't.
And he certainly would not forge a letter from the Marquis de Lafayette.
Tell me, is there somewhere downstairs near the front door where you can hide?
Hide?
I'm going to bring Francois back here first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock.
Why should I hide?
You might be a little surprised to hear what your fiancé said.
I'll do no such thing.
Don't you want to be sure?
I am sure.
Well, he's your fiancé. Anyway, we'll be here, 8 sharp. Mose, you seen a little boy in the last hour or so, a little boy in his nightshirt?
Yes, Mr. Boy, just a few minutes ago.
Which way did he go?
Why, he didn't go nowhere. He was took.
Well, which way, man?
They had this boy, and he was kicking and carrying on something furious.
Mose, I swear, if you don't tell me which way in the very next second...
He didn't go nowhere, Mr. Boy. I took him in my hack down to the waterfront.
All right, Mose, drive as fast as you can.
Where, Mr. Boy?
The waterfront, man, the waterfront.
Oh, yes.
Regan! Regan! Regan!
Did you see what I did, monsieur, with the chain?
I sure did. You're learning fast.
They were going to wrap it around me, but I wrapped it around him. That is, how do you say, the turning of the table, no?
That's right. You know something? You came mighty close to being catfish bait.
I know, and I will thank the good Lord for my deliverance in my prayers tonight.
You do that. Come on, help me tie up these two. We'll leave them here for the dock workers to find in the morning.
Bowie?
What?
When I said my prayers, I asked the good Lord to bless you, too.
Oh, thanks.
I said, dear God, please bless Monsieur Jim.
Good, good.
You do not mind if I call you Jim?
Call me anything you like.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, this is silly. Move over.
Why, monsieur?
You don't have to have the whole bed yourself, do you? We can share it, can't we?
I've never shared a bed in my whole life.
Well, it's time you started. Move over.
I've never shared a room. Except, of course, with Hector.
And who's Hector?
My dog. He always slept on the floor beside me.
Oh, well, I'm not Hector. Move over. Hey, you've really led the life of a little gentleman, haven't you?
I am a gentleman, monsieur.
Oh. All right, then. Stay a gentleman. Keep the bed. Sleep tight. Good night.
Monsieur Jim?
What now?
It is hard, the floor.
It is hard.
Monsieur Jim?
Yeah.
I have decided. You may share the bed. As the Marquis de Gravion, I can do no less.
Why?
I have tried to think what my father would do, and my grandfather. They would share the bed, I think.
Why would they?
Because they were gentlemen.
I thought a gentleman was a fellow who always took a whole room to himself.
No, monsieur, a gentleman is... It means... Do you know noblesse oblige? What it means?
Oh, what does it mean to you, Francois?
I think it means that persons of high birth, like myself, must always be honorable and generous.
Yeah, I think that's very right.
Especially to one's inferiors like you.
Yeah.
So since I'm a gentleman, you may have half my bed.
I'll take it, even on those terms. Move over.
It is very strange. You did not have to fight for me, but it is twice now that you've saved my life.
Well, I'll call it even if you just go to sleep.
Good night, monsieur.
Good night, Francois.
Could it be that you're of noble birth?
Huh? No, just plain American.
But, Monsieur Jim, you've acted almost exactly like a gentleman. And yet...
Go to sleep.
And yet you're not a gentleman. It is very strange. I do not understand plain Americans.
Good morning. You again? Just a minute.
This time, the boy and I are going to see Mr. Tournay. Stand here.
François. Aunt Marie. Never fear, Aunt Marie. Monsieur Jim will beat him. Who is this man, Aunt?
My fiancé. Or he was.
You see? What did I tell you?
Yes, he's a very brave gentleman, isn't he?
What should we do with him?
He has to live with himself. Perhaps that will be enough.
Marie.
Oh, get out.
You heard the lady.
Oh, Aunt Marie, may I present my friend, Monsieur Jim Bowie, Mademoiselle de Gravion.
I know Mr. Bowie, Francois, and I'm very grateful to him. You must come and visit Francois, often.
I'd like that, mademoiselle.
Monsieur Bowie, I think I understand now about the gentleman.
Yeah?
In France, it is how one is born. Here, it is how one acts. Any plain American can be a gentleman. That is it, monsieur? No?
Any good American?
Then I shall try to be a good, plain American.
You're pretty close right now.
And now I think we should go upstairs. Your great-grandfather will be very glad to meet you. And you too, Mr. Bowie.
Wait, Aunt Marie. I must extend my apologies. Monsieur Jim, I said I would have you rewarded.
Yes, you did.
But one gentleman cannot reward another, sir. I can only promise to help you when I am big enough to do so.
I'll count on that.
Now I am ready to see my grandfather.
And here's the star of our show, Scott Forbes.
Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And will be with us again next week for another exciting adventure in the life of Jim Bowie.
Adventure in man, Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie. He roamed the wilderness unafraid, from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.